something like that. But either way, I'm here with Majin, and we're gonna try and do a quick little interview, a little recap since I recently returned. And he's from what he's presented to the whole community is that he's on his way out, so which was funny enough to me. But so yeah,
Which
how
is
you?
funny
What you say?
because it's kind of like reverse. Because while I was making my way in, you were on your way out because you had stuff to do. So it's crazy, honestly.
Oh yeah, you are right. Yeah, yeah. When I first started, you were on was wait, I was on the way out and you were on the way in, and now I'm
Yeah,
trying to come back in and you're on the way out.
basically fucking done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty much that. Pretty much that. And even then, like, I'm not gonna be nearly as like you were more dedicated to it. Well, I was pretty dedicated to it at one point, but then I also had a lot of stuff going on, so I knew I couldn't just do it how I wanted to do it. And then now, like, I'm gonna be back in it, but I don't want to be as into it as I was when I started, or as much as you were. 'Cause you were, you had a server, you were on your server, my server, making thumbnails, making matches, trying to make tournaments, making money tournaments. It was all your money too. I feel like I don't know if anybody helped you with that, but you were doing
Nope, it
that
was
and
fucking.
you were making videos and you were trying to talk to the Italian people and you were trying to talk to the Latin people. There's a lot of stuff you were juggling. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that
And,
even now.
and I was in Hawk server. I was trying to get the game out there. I was hopping into various Dragon Ball servers, anime servers, gaming servers, trying to mention the game up, trying to put the game out there. I was doing a lot of shit. That really, it was worth it, but at the end of the day, I don't know if it was worth it though. I didn't have to do it, but I still did it. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what you wanted to do if it was worth it or not. Because I mean, I would say like I wouldn't put that much into it because ain't really nothing coming out of it. But I mean, if you enjoy seeing the game grow, then I mean that's what you get out of it. It's really whatever you want to get out of it. So yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Understandable.
I will say I expected you to burn out like you did. You said you burned out, and yeah, and you told me you were. So how true it was when you said you said that you were like losing weight or something, and you were like completely like just decomposing pretty much.
I wouldn't say decomposing, but it was just that I wasn't working out as much because keep in mind, just because the nature of my profession, I just prefer to stay in good shape a lot. I got a lot of enjoyment out of working out, and I wasn't leaving my I guess we can call it a dormitory, or it's a barracks room basically. Because while I was doing a lot of the Tenkaichi 3 stuff, I wasn't training a lot because they didn't call me to do it. So I spent most of my time in my room. If I was leaving, it was leave to go to the vending machine or go to the store that was like 10 minutes away to go get some more fucking junk food and snacks and eat and just keep on working. Uh, it wasn't until like let's say July was when I actually started working out again and actually talking to some of the people in my area and shit like that. Cause yeah, it was fucked up. I was drinking like Monster energy drinks every goddamn day, eating nothing but junk food every day.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
prior to me living in my and prior to me being in that other situation where I was really into the game, I can live off and eat all that shit all the time. But guess what? I was still eating other shit and I was working out every single day, like 5 6 times a day. Not 5 6 times a week. My bad. It was
I
a lot
say
more
five, six
sustainable.
times a day. I don't know how that's even possible.
No, it was sustainable. It was a lot more sustainable. But yeah, it really did fuck me up. I used to be up all night. You know, shit like that. I was into this. It was my life for a minute.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how you were able to do that. And then what you said you were in the military, correct?
Still am.
Still in? Like, is it
That's
I don't know if I'm understanding this wrong. Is that Army, Marine, uh,
Navy.
Navy?
Yeah.
The Navy. Cool. And I
So
don't know
like
if you want to go into that. What are you doing in the Navy?
I'm not gonna go into job wise, but I can say at the time when we were really really into this shit, I was in California. I was in San Diego. I remember I told a lot of you guys. I was like, yo, I'm in San Diego right now. I'm on the West Coast, but we still managed to get any type of game off. Anything, we would still manage to play the game a lot. But at the time, I was in San Diego for a specific type of school for my job, so I was there for like 3 months. And before that, I was in Illinois for another form of training. Then after I left Chicago, I moved back to the East Coast, and that's kind of where everything kind of stopped a little bit because I didn't have like a proper living situation as far as like having consistent internet and shit like that.
Right. And did you play? You said you played the games with some of your members, right?
Yeah, a lot of my coworkers, they knew the game. I played it with them because when we were out at sea or whatever, we had a lot of free time. Well, we didn't have a lot of free time, but within the hours we had some type of free time, we have like a lounge on our ship where we were just playing. We would just chill there, watch movies. So I would just bring my computer or bring my laptop, and I'd bring my hard drive with the game on there, and we'd just play for like a few minutes. I challenge people, teach them how to play the game and stuff like that because they knew what the game. They knew Tenkaichi 3. They knew it. It's just they didn't know it on that type of level I knew it
Right.
on. Even though I'm not saying I was bad at the game, but it was a big skill gap. It was a
Yeah.
gigantic skill gap
Right, because
because I played
when I mean that's pretty common because I feel like I told this to you a long time because like a lot of people know the game but they don't really know the game because I remember when I first made my video, which is surprisingly enough, I guess because it's got ranked in the title. My most viewed video is me playing with Shadow, and I said a competitive ranked match, and I said to read the description. I was trying to hype it up, and I thought at the time I was like, I guess since I thought literally I was like the only one trying to like do this and like a competitive scene. So I literally was going in my head. I was like, I'm the best player. Like for right now, I think I'm the best player. And then I got exposed to the Italian community with Paige, and I got exposed to Hawk. And really, I was like, I'm really not that good. Once I really started to get into the competitive scene or know who's playing and know what they do and how they do it. And even then, I only really know sometimes how they do stuff. So yeah, it's just like you just got to expose. Once you get exposed to like the world, it pretty much puts everything into perspective, I guess.
their experiences based on purely local community.
Right.
Because I can tell you, from me playing online versus me playing IRL is completely different. Because this is coming from somebody I used to play I used to go to a lot of gaming tournaments. Like prior to leaving for the military, I used to go to a lot of gaming tournaments. I used to play with a lot of people I went to school with because we had a whole gaming club. Playing online is completely different because when you have that real life aspect of standing next to somebody you actually know, and you can trade off ideas like right off the bat. It's You develop more skills when you play in person versus playing online.
Yeah.
That's just me because I play completely different when I play in person versus when I play online.
Someone told me as well. I'm not sure if it was Paige or someone else told me. Say it's different also because having an online tournament. I feel like maybe another guy like Little Majin on a Tekken, but they said that it's like whenever you play an online tournament, it's different than playing in person because at an online tournament, even I think I said a chess player said this as well. You know, chess has blown up recently. That it's like when you in person with somebody and in person at the event, there's another factor of nerves and you got the person literally right there in front of you and then the crowd and everything around you versus when you
Yeah,
play an online tournament at home, you're at your house in like the most comfortable state. And although
yeah.
people are watching you, it doesn't feel like it in a sense.
You're the most focused. You can play at your highest level because there's no type of distractions. Like I noticed that too when I used to go to play Tekken a lot. I think my last Tekken tournament, I was about to beat this dude, but guess what? It was him. I was standing next to this man. He had like his family and friends behind him, and it was a whole group of people who was loud as fuck behind me. So that shit is nerve wracking, and that does get in the way of like that can affect your gameplay sometimes. Yeah, that can affect you, but you just need a lot of experience as far as playing next to people. Because even before I was playing Tekken, I was really big into Super Smash Bros. Smash Bros. For Wii U. I was big into that community for a long ass time, and I can tell you, I didn't own the game, but I played the game IRL so much, I was pretty confident in my ability to play. So I was beating people a lot, and it's just a different atmosphere when you play IRL. So I guess yeah. As
Which
far as like Tenkaichi 3 goes, my bad for cutting you off, but as far as Tenkaichi 3 goes, it's like you need like anybody can say that they're the best because guess what? IRL they played against like their cousin or their fucking nephew or their brother, but it it's a completely different atmosphere when you play against somebody who's actually goes deep into the game and actually can who knows what they're doing. For the longest
right,
time, I didn't know what an ascend key blast was for a long ass time until I actually practiced it. You know what I mean?
right, because you would never think about it.
Exactly.
Because like I mean before I started to realize the usefulness of it, I knew about it, but I never found any sort of time to use it unless like they were like on the ground. But they didn't stay there that long.
Yeah, you can like I didn't know you can use it like mid combo. You can use it as a combo extender.
Right, and then also that leads to another question. Like I've said this before, but I never really had anybody to elaborate with it. And maybe we might have said this to me like the interview you did of me, but I felt like it also hurt in a sense that like when the game came out, it never took off. And then also it was also when the game came out, it was in the dark ages. Like now, fighters, you know how big that game is and all the community behind it. But had it been came out years ago when footage was not so easy to put around and all that stuff, it you know affected it that way. But also the fact that Tenkaichi or just Dragon Ball Z games in general were not really considered like
Real fighting games.
yeah, real fighting games, especially the Tenkaichi games.
I think it's just because the nature of the games. It's just the nature of it. Because in general, the fighting community has a bias towards if it's not a traditional 2D fighter, it's not a real fighting game. That's the main argument. And my thing I would say is, what are your credentials and who are you to dictate what's not a real fighting game or not? And it's just also with these games is that there was no like you said, there was no like real recorded footage of like a competitive community for the game. You can always see videos like, oh, how to activate these type of supers or this type of shit, but you never really see videos of like a like IRL 1 versus 1 match. I think that's what killed Tenkaichi 2, and that killed a lot. That killed the early Tenkaichi community because there was no IRL players.
Right.
There was no IRL matches in North or South America.
Right.
That's what really killed these games as far from like expanding, especially in North America. There was no in real life tournaments or in real life footage that you can easily find. You can't really find like any South American or Latin American footage for a tournament unless like you actively like start digging for it.
Right.
Like if you look at the Tenkaichi tournament, the only thing you're going to get is Paige's video, and that's from like 2015, 2017. And you look at that footage, like they weren't bad. It was just that the game has evolved so much over time that this shouldn't be like it's just the game has just evolved so much within the last like 3-4 years since Paige uploaded that video.
Yeah, and I think I seen. I don't know if that was Paige's video I seen, but I seen another tournament a long time ago, and then it was an IRL tournament, but there was a huge skill gap even for when before I started getting better at the game. Like I knew I was better than them. Like so that really just it wasn't just like a commonplace because even like old games like Street Fighter and Tekken and whatnot, there were like archives, even speed running. Like there was old websites and archives you could do stuff with. And there wasn't really, from my knowledge, my young knowledge, there wasn't really nothing like that for Tenkaichi 3. But then, even then, I didn't get the internet till about, I don't know when I got it, like till about middle school is when I finally got internet. And by then, stuff was already established because it was like 2010 or something. Because like I remember I had my SmackDown versus Raw 2006, or excuse me, 2007. Even Fight Night all the way up to like 2009. The idea all the way up till about 2009 or 10, the idea of playing online with someone was still like a foreign concept to me because I didn't back then. You know, you had to hook the PlayStation 2 directly to the internet box, and I never knew what that port was for. Even though I had a PS2 for so long, online play to me blew my mind. So it was like, whoa, I didn't even know it was like that was even a possibility.
And it was so bare bones that like if it was a fighting game, you couldn't even pull off certain combos. You had combos that only worked for online that you couldn't do. Yeah, there was only combos that only worked online versus it couldn't even work in if you played in the vanilla game without being online. That was the crazy part about it back in the day.
Right. I think
Some things didn't work.
I think it's somewhat like that in Tekken, but it's not nearly as like bad. Like at least now, like it'll match you up with someone with good internet. I'm not even sure if they had lobbies back then. If I'm thinking back to, I feel like you had to directly connect to a player.
I think they did fighting game wise, but it just wasn't well known. It didn't come out like it wasn't as prevalent until like Street Fighter 4 came out because Street Fighter 4 came out like 2008, 2009.
I think
that's
you're right.
when the whole lobby system and everything started to come together. That Tekken 6 and what was another fighting game?
I think you're absolutely right. I think you did exactly right with that time placement.
That's when it started. That's when like lobby systems and shit started to happen.
Because hold on, I'm gonna do a quick Google search.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's the right that about that time is when it started to pick up because the PS3 came out on November 11, 2006, And even when it first came out, I still don't remember online play being like a big thing.
I mean, for fighting game wise, it wasn't a big thing, but online play, yeah, it was a pretty big thing. It's just that it was way more bare bones back when during the PS2 era.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think now. Like, when did really? I feel like what really took it off. If I'm speaking very candidly at this point, was it like Call of Duty and Halo and stuff that really took off that online play stuff?
Yeah, it all really started with first person shooters.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling like. Cause I remember when I started hearing about first really online play was Halo. My friend of mine was like really into Halo when I was young. And that's when I really knew. Because then when he said online play, I was like, you mean online play against real people? Like, it was like a still thing to me. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I had a PS2, but like my other console at the time was a Nintendo 64, and there was definitely no online play for that.
Yeah.
And I still didn't even really know what the internet was. It took me a minute to really understand what the internet was. To me, at the time when I was young, it was still just something you go to the library for.
Yeah. I was a little versed in it. Like, as far as the Tenkaichi thing goes, is like it was actually a lot from what I understand from like looking through like old game facts forums and just looking and just talking to Zero when I finally met Zero for the first time. Zero, not the Smash player Zero, but Zero, he was like the original. He's the one that really decoded and deconstructed the entire like he deconstructed Tenkaichi 2 from the ground up. He's like the one that kind of inspired a lot of us, and he pioneered a lot of stuff that yeah, he pioneered a lot of shit as far as Tenkaichi as
Right.
a whole. Like from when I was talking to him, he said like if you want to exchange information as far as that game goes, you was just on the Atari forums and you was just on the GameFAQs forums. Because even if you go back as far as like 2007, you'll see him, you'll see Hawk, you'll see a lot like not the Shadow but you'll see Shadows, Sprawlers, a lot of those really old players. You'll still see their old posts and everything.
Right.
Back then, they were still debating on who was the strongest, who's the best player. But guess what? No one was hosting any tournaments or anything to determine whether or not who was really the best at the game. And that was like the biggest thing as far as Tenkaichi or just those games in general, because there was no one was putting in the effort to host any tournaments and recording it and documenting it to where, hey, this is the best player in this region. Come play me, and here's documented proof that, hey, I beat all these players. So what you gonna do about it? I guess.
Right. So I guess in your opinion, is it a bit more solidified? Who's the best player now in Tenkaichi 3?
There's still it's going by for me. Like from last time I was checking, it was just going by region wise. I think the best player, arguably, right now is Grateful Chaos, but I kind of say he started playing the game like when we were all stopped. We all just dropped the game. When we all just stopped playing. I wouldn't say we didn't drop the game, but he started playing. Oh shit, that's my fucking alarm. It's like 12. But he started playing like fucking April and September, and this is when everybody was like gradually stopped like dropping the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, like undoubtedly, he was far more dedicated. He was far more. He put in a lot of effort into the game. So he's like the best North American player. I will say that on record. He's the best North American player. But until I beat him all, until we end up playing in person, that can change. That will change if we ever meet in person. I guess.
Yeah. Also, I will also say this about him. Him being dedicated more. He's also a fairly younger player, so he has more of an
Yeah,
opportunity to dedicate that time to it. So,
yeah, that was the
not an
biggest thing. Like,
excuse or nothing like trying to discredit him, but I was also just pointing that out. Like, a lot of people also just don't have time to dedicate to it. And then not to mention they dedicating a lot of time to a game that isn't really mainstream.
yeah, like that was I think we can transition into us talking about that era where a lot of the play like I can name off I was talking to you earlier while I was naming off a lot of the old like North American players during our time we was really into the game. Like that whole summer period up until let's say August to September, that was when everybody was playing.
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
Nine Legends, Slip, 13, me, you, Tunchi, Lord Quaz, all those guys were dedicated to the game, but guess what? We all had stuff to deal with and lives to continue. So I think with Creative Chaos, he capitalized on the fact that we were all gone. So he had way more time to experiment, way more time to look at the game fundamentally, because he was the one that got he was almost on par with a lot of like foreign players too. Because I think last time I saw him, he was playing like Brazilian players and like a lot of South American players and yeah, South American players in general. He was just as good as them. But for the rest of us, we was like, fuck it. We actually have real lives to do. We ain't making no real money. We're not. It's not growing. It's not blowing up as much as we want to. We can. So we got to walk away from it, I guess.
Yeah, really, yeah. He has gotten really, really good, and cause really I forgot about that era because like that little summer area was like the most active it was on my server, and like it was also like the most competitive at that time because everyone was playing everybody, and also I had that little bot working at the time, which I have to rebuild still. Uh,
Yeah.
I told you my hard drive corrupted, and I have to redo everything again, which ain't a problem. I'll probably do it better this time around, but
Rebuild it using those HD icons. I can send you to them. I can send them to you if you can.
all
If
right,
you ever.
yeah. Send them to me, send them to me, and I'll see what I can do with them. Now, because
Yeah.
I'm now because I don't really have to. There's nothing I'm worried about breaking at this point. I just got to do it from scratch, and I'll see if I can work it in.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I
continue
mean
with.
that little summer era was actually it was really competitive. Like everyone was playing everybody, and everyone I felt like was getting better around at the same rate. Because when even me, like I was really focused on a lot, like trying to spread stuff and getting stuff activated and making sure everything doing was working accordingly with the bot and the server and everything else. So even then I wasn't like practicing as much. Even now I won't practice as much, but I could tell like during that time, like the same people I had played when we started that summer, like halfway or a month into that summer, like it wasn't the same like me playing them. It wasn't like before like me playing against somebody or against you, for example. Like, I beat you pretty handily a lot. And I noticed, like, I was like, yo, he's really, like, about to pass me if I don't start practicing seriously. So everyone I started playing with really just got better and better and better. Like, even Tunchi now, at first when I started him, he was, like, nowhere near as good. And then now he's completely, we can go back and forth, me and him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was,
Like
like, a really, really competitive time. Like, everyone was gradually getting better and better and better. And then when the summer ended, like, we all drifted away from it.
like I will always use like even when that summer ended, I would use that tournament that I hosted during the winter time as like the end all be all because it was like me and you were the last two players from that era to really play. That was probably the best match I've ever had for like the most fun I ever had playing Tekken 93 during that match because that was like a culmination of skill, pure skill. I was practicing for like an hour, 2 hours when I was at home practicing a bit, practicing combos and everything. Like it was insane. I loved it. I loved that.
Right,
I
right.
loved playing that game, playing that match so much.
I got the list up, too, of all the people who was in that tournament right now since we was talking about it. I could think of
Yeah.
something. I'm gonna shout out a few people. Not this guy. He didn't stay around long. 13. JoJo Dojo was big at one point. Perplex is in the next tournament we're doing now. I have footage of that up. And
Oh
then
yeah, I remember. I remember him and Slip
yeah,
used
him
to.
and Slip. I don't think Slip was in this tournament, but he had to quit because he just couldn't play. Nin Legend, and there's another guy on here I never really thought about, but because he didn't really talk much, but his name was just Money on here.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
around for a good while, and he was actually pretty good. Like, but he never talked. He still doesn't talk.
he's still on the server too.
Yeah. He's still in the server. A57. He was better than everybody at one point. It was on the server at that time. It was just him and Paige who were at the top.
And then you end up finding out that A57 wasn't even like compared to everybody, compared to the foreign players, he wasn't that good.
Right. I think anybody else I could think of. I guess another small little shout out goes, I guess, to Shadow. I always try to say that Shadow 32 because, I mean, although he doesn't play at all, really, he said he's gonna try and get some practice in, and he said he's gonna sign up for the tournament, but he didn't. But either way, he's very fundamental to the server because like a lot of the people that join this stream is really because they saw me and him match up, even though he doesn't have time to dedicate to this either.
That was that tournament was actually pretty fun. Originally, I wasn't even going to participate because at the time, I think my internet wasn't working.
All
And
right.
keep in mind, this is moving back and forth. So I'm like, I don't even
Oh
want to
yeah,
do this.
yeah. Because I remember, I remember now. I'm glad you said that because when you and him played, you played on my computer, and I watched you guys. It was like I was watching it from my computer, and I was trying to like help. It was just
Yeah.
it was intense. I'm gonna let you know the room was intense when y'all were playing.
Oh shit.
I didn't help like try to like cheat help, but I was like, yo, you gotta. He's catching you with this. He's catching the bro. Come on, now, like a little bit of coaching. It was intense. Like The room was intense, and then not to mention, also at that time when y'all were playing, some people walked in our room. I'm gonna be honest, I hate females sometimes. They were there, and they were trying to get him to quit early, and I was like, "Yo, just chill out. We're doing this. Just chill out."
Like playing a serious match right now. You just don't
All
understand.
right, yeah, they just didn't understand. Like they can't understand. Like, yo, chill out for a minute. We trying to do this. This is an actual thing. Like, let us do this. And then they kept trying to rush him and rush him. It's like, yo, you came here and you knew what was happening. Go somewhere. Like,
Yeah, man.
there was a funny thing. I saw a documentary about these people who play electric football, which is basically plastic football, and the board vibrates and the players move.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he knew he met his wife because they sat there and played football for like 4 or 5 hours. He said, and she didn't say anything but sit there. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is my wife."
Yeah, man.
I mean, yeah, most often, more of the time, they'd be like, "Let's go, let's leave."
Yeah,
Bro, just go somewhere, please. You can leave.
yeah, man.
But yeah,
Like, I don't know, man. As far as the game goes, uh, I will tell you like what really made me want to leave is just my frustrations, honestly, because like nothing was going anywhere. Like I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just leave. I can quit this game and I can delete all this stuff and my life continues. So I was like, it ain't a big deal to me. I already did. From my perspective, I'm like, I made a channel, I made a server, I pretty much built a community around all these people. I can leave instantly, and no one can take any of that shit away from me. You can't take my videos down. You can't take my server away from me. Well, someone owns it. Someone actually owns it. Like when I left the server all those times, I just gave it to somebody else. But I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just leave.
all right.
Like,
That was gonna. He pretty much went right into my next question. Was like, why'd you leave? But you pretty much answered it.
yeah, I was like, uh, it wasn't even just like my frustration. I was like, man, like nothing's happening. I'm not really playing. I'm not really getting much enjoyment out of playing the game anymore because a lot of people. It wasn't a lot of like people playing like it used to be. And
Yeah,
I've seen,
yeah. Like it's just, yeah. I feel that completely. Like when people started leaving, the people we knew is like, yeah. It was just the heart of like everything was kind of like dwindling.
and there was less of like what made that point when we were all playing so much better because we were all at a decent level to where it wasn't such a big fucking skill cap
Yeah, that's
to where
also true.
if I play, I'm getting my ass beat. If I play against Creative Chaos, because I didn't win, I can't remember the last time I actually won a game against him. Because he was playing his game religiously, while I had my own duties to take care of. So, because yeah,
All right.
it was like okay,
I
if I
also
stop,
say that too because now because of how like many people have left, there's like there's definitely a skill gap. Like there's people who I know definitely cannot beat me, and there's people I know above me who I definitely will not beat. Before we were all like around that level, like anybody could have won. Like okay, now this tournament we had, I definitely knew Paige, and it was coming out of Paige in 857. But all the way up until then, it could have been anybody because 13, me and 13 around the same level. Me and you were around the same level. Me and Shadow were around the same level. Everyone that I pretty much
yeah,
went against, I was around the same level.
it's crazy because at one point, Lord Quaz or JoJo Dojo, I considered him the best North American because I didn't know anybody. I didn't. This is before I joined your server. Before I even knew you, I thought because how I met. Because I guess we can. I guess the first question you should ask is like how it all started. So how it all started as far as Tenkaichi 3 and my journey with it. Before that, I always played the game with people I went to school with. Whenever we had our little video game club, people would bring it and everything. And the crazy thing is, even though um like I didn't look up the game online or look up the games competitively, there was always some type of universal like understanding of the game. Like, hey, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Majin Buu or Super Buu, not Super Buu, but Kid Buu and Majin are like the fastest characters in the game. It was like universal towards a lot of people who played it. And at the time we would bring the PS2 to school every day. Not every day, but whenever somebody had it, I'm like, yo, we playing like, yo, bring your PS2 to school. We'll play it for a few hours. We get our ass beat. Time goes by. We graduate high school. I go off and do my thing, and I never got a chance to play the game on an emulator because that's something I always wanted to do because I never owned the game. Then once I got a basic training, I got my decent computer, decent laptop, downloaded it and shit like that. And I was like, fuck, let me look on like a Dragon Ball Z forum. it was the Kaizenchu forums, and I saw literally Lord Qualler Jojo Dojo. He was like the first person I saw on the forum looking to play it. So I made another forum post, and I replied to his post, and he replied to mine. I gave him my Discord, he gave me his Discord, and then I just started the whole Discord server and shit like that.
Right.
But fast forward, at the time we was using Parsec, and he used to just beat me over and over and over and over. I used to get frustrated at the fact that I used to lose to this dude constantly until we started expanding more, started playing against more and more people, trying to get more people to play, you know. And then fast forward, he was still better, but like I said, when we were all playing together, we were all such at like a decent skill level to where it wasn't such a gigantic fucking skill cap to where, hey, you have to play this game for hours and hours and hours on end and actually get close to like someone like me. So the average player will have to work even harder just to get close to someone like me if they started right now. And I'm not that bad at the game. I'm not ass at the game, but I've played the game for so long and I studied the game so long. Like, yo, I can hop into the game and still beat somebody who would be at my level. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Like, I will always consider that point to be like you. It won't. I can't see there ever being another point in the games community where you'll have a consistent amount of people going back and forth playing the game over and over and over and constantly competing, because we were playing that game every fucking day.
Right. That was like a real thing at one point. Like, yeah, we was
Exactly.
playing that game like every day, like 2 or 3 games a day. Like I feel like I was playing at one point for hours on
Yeah.
end. If I didn't play like 2 or 3 times a day separated, it was like an hour, like a good lengthy session.
And then we were making videos for it too.
Right.
That was another.
I feel like, and then on top of it, just to put it in perspective, how much we record, like all the footage I have on my YouTube now, that isn't even like half of all the footage I had. We play a lot. Like I had a footage, I was like, I'm gonna upload it, but really, I had so much footage, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to edit it.
Yeah.
I was like, I had a lot of footage, like I feel like I had like 3-hour sessions that I had to edit, and I was like, man, I was like, bro, because by the time I was trying to edit some footage, I was getting new footage because I was playing with somebody else.
Yeah.
And also, my internet was really, really slow at the time, and I didn't want to have to wait to upload it.
And then you had like I have like a lot of the original footage from all of our fights. I have everything uploaded, but it's on my old hard drive, so I just gotta finally hook it up if I ever want to re-upload it again
Yeah.
to probably boost the quality.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately, I lost mine. I did have that. I never deleted it, but it's corrupted now, so it's gone.
like I don't like. At one point, I had so much stuff I wanted to do as far as the game, but by the time I was getting ready to quit, which was like 2 months, like almost 2 months ago, I was like, fuck it. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't. I could build like a local community with the people I put with, like the people who I work with, because they know of the game and stuff like that. But I was like, fuck it. I don't want to play this game anymore. So what I did was I wiped my whole computer of like Tenkaichi 3 stuff. I think the only thing I have left is like the HD icons, because I actually do want to use those. But other than that, all that stuff is gone. Any type of like footage, it's probably uploaded to my computer. It's uploaded to my YouTube account, and then
You think it's also? Do you
like
think it's on a cloud?
not on the cloud. It's on YouTube, and then I have the other stuff on my hard drive,
I guess that
external hard.
that goes to my next question. Like, you already deleted it all? But I said, will you play like? Will you continue to play on your own time, just whenever you feel like it?
Yeah, most definitely. Well, it's if I have people to play with,
Right.
because it's at. Yeah, I guess I'll play it on my own. I'll definitely, if I ever want to get back into playing games in general, because I don't play a lot of video games anymore, because I'm busy a lot. So, well, I'm not saying I'm not busy a lot, but it's just that when I come home from work, I'm like, fuck, do I even want to play this shit anymore? I just want to just listen to music and go to sleep.
Right.
Because I
Right.
don't get I don't get as much sleep as I should. So I want to just go to fucking sleep.
Yeah.
Because back
Yeah. I
then,
completely get that.
because towards the time of me leaving, I was coming home at like 6, 7 o'clock. Not 7 o'clock, but I was coming home at like fucking 6, 7 o'clock. Sometimes 8. So you come home, you try to eat, take a shower, and then guess what I had to get? I had to be at work at like 4:30, so I had to get up at like 3 in the morning. So I'm like, bro, this shit is tiring me even more.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember at one point I was doing something. I'm doing that now again, but for different reasons. At one point I was coming home to school. Then I had to work at school, and then I would come home and play with you guys, and then also I was doing something else with somebody else. Then I go to sleep, and I had to. By the time I go to sleep, I got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I had two jobs. So I was working at a warehouse, and that was just it was a lot. Like, yeah, I completely get that. It's just like you
Exactly.
don't eat because I know people wanted to. Like sometimes when people wanted to play with me, I would be online, but I just didn't. I didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? It's just like this time I don't want to do anything. Because then it started to
Like,
feel like I don't know if you can relate to this, but at one point it was feeling like me playing with somebody. Although I enjoyed the game, it felt like a chore, like because I agreed to play with them already.
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then it's just that and then because you have that tight schedule, and then you're not seeing any much progress of what you're doing, so you just built up that frustration. Like, yo, fuck this, like fuck it. That was my mentality. I'm like, yo, ain't not much progress being made. I'm still decent at the game. I was actually getting worse. I was getting worse at the game actually. And then guess what? My channel wasn't blowing up. I couldn't really host a tournament or anything. A lot of stuff I wanted to do wasn't wasn't like I wasn't getting far with it compared to, let's say, like a couple months ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
So do you think you'd ever come back on a more leisurely schedule? Because that's yeah, pretty much what I'm expecting to do. Come back, but just not nowhere near as intense as before.
yeah, I don't know, because it depends if I genuinely want to, because like
Well,
I already said,
would you come back in a role where you don't have to? Okay, let's say you just came back as a player whenever you wanted to participate, and that's
if I
it.
do, I'm playing that game at 100%. I have a tendency, like, if I'm into something, I'll go into it 100% until I'm burnt out.
Right.
That, and that just comes out of passion for something. But uh, with me, I was like, I've done so much. I've done so much online wise. If I ever want to play the game again, I'll have to do it strictly on a local level. Online doesn't mean much because you know it's up to the. It's I've always said this before, right? The game's longevity is a game like this is heavily dependent on the people who are actually dedicated to the game. No amount of fucking support that a developer gives you matters. Is all based on the players. The players are the ones that fuel the game's community. Community is everything. No matter what anybody says, the game can be broken as fuck, but community means everything. So my mentality was, hey, you know, not everybody. I was putting in way more work than anybody, everybody. I was putting in way more work than everybody. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. And then it was like, how should I say this? I just got bored and I just got tired of it. Cause I already don't. It was like the only video game I played because I don't play video games. I don't really play video games anymore. So this is the one video game I was playing every single day. I was thinking about it every single day. I was coming up with new ideas for videos every single day. And then, like I said, I got burnt out from this. I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Right.
If I do, it'll strictly be on a local level, and I'll play with. Uh, I'll try to build it on a local level, and like I said, I've already laid out a game plan or like a road for everybody to follow for the near future. If you want the game to be successful, just follow the route I laid out. If you don't, then the game will just going to be stagnant for a long ass time, and it'll just stick to being sort of an underground thing where it just stays on like a few discords and everything.
Right. And then a little thing I thought about just now. I want to know your opinion on it. Do you feel like it also like also because the game is old and you have to do net play and the fact that people feel like a lot of people, including gamers and stuff, they want just the convenience of like ease of it. Like if it was, I don't know how fighters work, but generally speaking, a game you can just go online, click online play, and then wait for somebody to connect to you. With this, you got to do a little bit of a hassle and like connect directly with somebody and have a direct like you guys want to play kind of thing. Do you think that hurts it at all?
It doesn't. It just puts in a little bit of effort doesn't hurt anybody. I think what really fucked up a lot of us for a long time one of the things that people who may be watching this in the near future doesn't know anything about the game. For the longest time, we never played with 100% save file. We never did
Right.
until like till it was till we was all getting ready to go our separate ways. That was the last time we ever played with the 100% save file. Why, you may ask? Because with Dolphin Emulator, if you play online, you'll consistently desync if everything is not 100% matching the other. So for a longest time, we was like, "Fuck it, let's play vanilla with no unlocked characters,"
Right.
and that reduced the amount of hassle. We didn't have to change any settings, any of that stuff, because you're already putting in a lot of hassle just trying to set up the game to begin with.
Right.
So like that's what like maybe some people may not know about how much of a struggle it was to play the game online, because we also had a point in time where we was struggling between whether or not we should use Parsec or use any type of we were struggling between Parsec and Dolphin. So
Yeah, because at times, like,
Parsec
yeah, that's another issue too. At times, Dolphin was just it was just de-seeking every single time, and then on top of that, we couldn't get saves to work. So really, it was just like, how good is your internet? We could try Parsec at this point.
and even then you had to have a beefy computer in order to run that game, in order to run Tenkaichi 3 on there.
Right. And then if you use Parsec, you needed to have good internet. So there's a lot of like little, you know, requirements on requirements on requirements, depending on what you choose. Is why I asked if you thought that hindered it because of the process for it, or
Yeah. That kind of it didn't hold the game back at all. It's just that like you'll have some people who just I wouldn't say it didn't hold the game back at all, because guess what, the game was we was at our highest level competitively when we didn't have the 100% save file, so we just played with what we had.
right. And then at
Like I
that point, it
didn't
comes
need
back to, like you said, it depends on the dedication of the player. If they really want to do it, they'll do it. But if they don't want to do it, it's pretty much dead. Like, it's not gonna happen.
exactly. You want Tenkaichi 3 to be popular, then you have to put in that work in order to do it. I did it to the point where, hey, I left and I don't like, for me, I did so much for the game for within my abilities, I guess, to where I'm like, hey, you got like all you have to do is just copy me or copy like Funky's way of making of like expand the community, and you'll be successful because it works. You know, you don't have to go through that fucking destructive process of what we had to go through. We were constantly trying to get people to take the game seriously. You know, playing the game online every day, trying to make videos every day. You know, those are tough times,
Yeah, and
honestly.
people don't realize how much goes into that. Like, because not only do you have to actually play, or not only are you trying to upload a YouTube video, okay, you have to edit it. You have to make a thumbnail for it if you want to do all that. But most times now, I just kind of just upload it. But you have to edit it and get the footage, and then on top of that, you have to actually play. There's a lot of stuff that it's not just like a simple upload a video. As simple as it
Then you
may
have to be
seem, like you got to upload it, edit it, get the footage, and then you have to actually keep playing people. So it's not like it almost becomes like well, not even almost, it does really 100% becomes like your job, and you're not getting paid for it.
and guess what? You have to be good at the game,
Yeah,
because that
that too.
was
Because if you
always my main problem with Tenkaichi 3 content. None of these people were good at the fucking game
and it's
at
not
all.
even that, like it's not even like not only just competitively good, just not good. Period.
Like you can clearly tell, like these, and that isn't their fault at all. Because guess what? There's lack of documented information or public information that you can easily find regarding the game's competitive community. Because guess what? If you want to be like for Tenkaichi 3, you know what you had to look up. You had to go on a game facts forum, or you had to do a deep dive into like some South American YouTube channel or some South American Facebook group in order to find it, or some like foreign way of finding it. And guess what? You can't easily find it unless you really dig deep into it, or you go on a Discord server. Which guess what? You can't easily find a Tenkaichi 3 Discord server. You know what I mean?
Right. A little update on that. Chaos recently got our your server and my server listed on the where is that? The Shoryuken wiki. If you go in there and you look under the Discord servers, you'll find both your server and our server listed under the fighting game community servers.
Hopefully, it boosts people's interest in the game.
Right,
Has
yeah.
anybody?
But I just let you know
Have
that it is on there. Chaos did that on his own. I didn't know he did that. He actually showed me a picture of it, and I didn't even know the Shoryuken Wiki was a thing. So that's something I learned.
Yeah, the Shoryuken Wiki's been around for as long as the Shoryuken Forum's been around.
Right.
And that goes 20 years.
Yeah, it's on there now. So hopefully, I mean, if it brings people, it'll bring people.
You know what I mean?
Because I feel like we're the only. If I got to go back and check, but my server and your server are the only servers listed on there. They even have a Super Dragon Ball Z and like I think Budokai 3 on there. Servers
Yeah,
related to that. But
yeah, man.
so I guess
Like,
what's next for you now? Now that you passed the BT3 stage, what's next for you? Like in terms of your YouTube and whatnot, whatever you wish to go into.
uh, I'll just leave the YouTube up because I'm basically just used for a secondary channel for like secondary crap. But I've been looking into playing more like other games, try to expand more. Like I still have that idea in my head for doing like a local BT3 like community because the game won't go far unless you have like a local community, especially as things ease up a bit. You need to build a local community, have people to come out there to actually want to play the game, even if it's like four dudes. Dude, just bring a laptop and a decent monitor. Four people, I guarantee you'll have some people coming up to you like, "Hey, what's this game? Hey, what's this game?" And you just build with those people.
Right.
You always have to have. I have to have that mindset. Or if you're looking into building a fighting community, or just a gaming community in general, just remember, just build with the players who are going to stick with the game. Do not. If some people leave, fine, but build with the people who are still there. But to really answer your question, what I'm gonna do, I don't know. The future is still open. I've been recently grinding the like Mortal Kombat Deception just because I really like the game and I've been taking a lot of notes on it and trying to contact a lot of the old players from like 2004, 2005, trying to get in contact with them, um, and trying to build a little community with that because I actually do play fighting games with a guy who's really, 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 really good. And I think like if I play with him and maybe Tenkaichi 3 or play with him in like other fighting games, it can help build a bigger community with those because it will help. Like I think what will for the future of the Tenkaichi community, I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's up to the like I say, the future is heavily dependent on the people who are participating, and I'm not participating, so it's up to whoever's left in that community because there's not a lot of North American players anymore. So yeah. Anything else? Oh shit, that was a mouthful.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't no problem. Like, so if I understood you correctly, you said like the channel you have now will potentially be a secondary channel that you will still upload to, or you just have this channel and then potentially make another, like just hypothetically speaking. But like not really,
Uh,
like pretty much like either you're gonna use this as just a secondary, or you're just gonna completely abandon it, or you're just gonna use it for other stuff.
Secondary, use it for other stuff. If I upload something, I'll upload it, but it won't be. Yeah, I'll just upload other stuff on there.
What do you want? Would
Just
you,
like
if you had a, do you have like a new name in mind for the channel? Like if you can't, you can plug it.
nah, still keep it to Majin Zoo. That's the most recognizable name. When you look it up, that's what you find.
Cool, cool.
You you know
So you
like
said Mortal Kombat Deception and any other fighting games?
I was gonna look into Def Jam 5 from New York, but my computer can't run that game properly, so it's really just trying to try out those games, looking to other avenues,
Right.
because I have all this ability to. If it worked with Tenkaichi 3, it can work with any other game if I put a dedication to it. That's you can say that about anything, but
Right.
you know,
So it,
do what you and build. Just continue to build. That's my advice to like anybody who may want to try to do something. You just keep on building, produce as much as you can. The more you produce, eventually someone will recognize it and try to spread it, try to build it with people and try to show it to people because they will acknowledge. It's the fact that someone acknowledged that it exists that should matter to you,
right.
even if it's like positive like energy towards it.
So you think you're gonna dabble into any other? If you do stick with YouTube, do you think you'll dabble into any other genre of games or just any other genre of YouTube? Period, like outside of gaming.
Uh, Probably fitness because I'm trying to get back into like I'm just trying to get back into getting back into shape. I'm already pretty decent like shape wise, but like getting back into weightlifting and getting back into doing like a lot of just trying out weightlifting because I hadn't done I was too scared to lift weights for a long ass time. So all I did was like calisthenics, like push ups, sit ups, like pull ups and shit like that. But I do want to get back into try to maybe do weightlifting. And as far as like BT3, I will promise you this, like one comeback video. It won't be the documentary because all those people are gone, so you can't really. The only thing you have is like those screenshots. But what I will do is try to do a local Tenkaichi 3 event. That's something I genuinely want to do for the game, and I want to record it all and have it all documented because it will be the first documented case of a Tenkaichi 3 tournament IRL. That's something I will guarantee to anybody. I will put my own money on the line for it.
All
I'll
right.
put my own money to a prize pool. I'll put my own money to like any type of event managing, any type of that shit. I will do it for that game. You know what I mean? I'm willing to do that.
Right. And another question: will you? I guess you feel like you answered all the way up to now. Like, will you ever try to? I guess I don't know. People look back in and see what's going on with both discords or what's going on just on our end.
Nah, I'm perfectly fine. I'm fine because I try to keep my social media or any type of like internet chat use like to a very bare minimum, especially as I'm trying to branch off into doing trying to improve myself in my own personal life. So I try to keep as little distractions as possible, especially as I'm trying to rebuild from just past mistakes. So you try to keep as little distraction as possible, and that'll just give me the temptation to want to play again, and that just drift off, and that'll kind of take me off my focus. So
Right.
if I do come back, it probably won't. I'll just keep, like I said, my whole thing as far as Tenkaichi is like, okay, I've done enough with online. If I want to try to play the game again, it'll have to strictly be on a local level, build on a local level, because guess what? I can play anybody online. I can play you online, and you can beat me. But guess what? You come play me IRL. You'll have that. We'll have completely different energy as far as you won't play at the same high level as you play online. You feel me?
Right.
So it's about improve. I will want to focus on improving myself on a local person, like player versus player level versus doing anything online related. You know what I mean?
All right, and that leads to my next question. Will you try to? Is there anyone specifically that you'll try to, like, guess keep in contact with, like that was a part of that the BT3 community?
You, you, because you're first. Like I would like I would tell you I would not contact you. I would not keep in contact with you or try to hit you up again. I wouldn't have done that if I knew there wasn't a chance I can actually see you in person. I wouldn't tell or I wouldn't like you're like the only person I know I can for a fact that at some point you would be down to come up to where I live and to play in a Tenkaichi 3 tournament or something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. We just gotta pick a good time for it. Make sure ain't nothing going on IRL. I'll definitely swing by.
Exactly. Probably sometime during the winter or sometime during the summer when I can say, hey, I'm gonna take off work for a few weeks, host a tournament, people can come down and play. Stuff like that. Because a lot of the let's say because the people who are actually good at the game, they're all far off or they're still teenagers in school. So
Right. I guess.
they're still
I
youngins.
mean, I'm trying to keep my schedule like freelance style. Like I have stuff I have to do. Obviously, I have responsibilities, but I'm trying to keep my my work and stuff at that. Because I told y'all now I'm gonna try to get into YouTube and stuff, trying to do that. But people now, even now that I'm out of one job, they're trying to like get me to get into another job, and I'm just not. I'm not about to hop into that yet. I'm gonna try and keep my stuff fluid and try to really make something where I can pick my own hours so I can do stuff that I want to do. But we'll see what how the cookie crumbles.
You gotta make that sacrifice to do that whole grinding hours first before you can really say like, hey, I'm going to take that path of doing everything independently.
Keep,
And then you just got to accept the fact you're not going to make money right away. It
oh yeah, definitely.
won't be overnight. That's I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I'm 100% gonna have to be prepared for that. But yeah, is there anything? So, last final question, I guess, is there anything else that needs to be done or needs to be said in regards to BT3 And just anything that needs to be said at the end of this, just to wrap it all up with a bow.
Wrap it all up with a
Yeah,
bow.
what do you think? Like,
Keep
what do you think?
playing. Keep on playing. Keep spreading the word about the game. And I've said this tons of times on the Discord server and in this interview. Build with the people you are playing with, because that will be the ultimate. That will determine the game's longevity. I will tell you right now, and I will tell other players who are interested in getting into community. I do not give a fuck about what these other YouTubers who play this game talk about or play about the game. Their opinion doesn't matter. Their skill does not matter. What matters is your skill. What is your opinion on the game? Because guess what? These people aren't going to play the game or have no interest in playing the game that you want to play or play how you want to play. So you build with people. You build with like-minded people. You don't. You're not going to be successful surrounded by people who don't like your game, who don't like what you do. You feel me?
Mm.
You can build by using their negativity, using their opposition as a way of building yourself up. And that can be said within real life or any type of form of like community if you want to. But remember, community is everything. You need a community in order to build. You build with the players who have a desire to play at the same level as you do. That's essentially it. That's essentially all I gotta say.
All right.
And will I ever come back? Probably not. Just stick to playing on a local level,
That was gonna lead to my.
or
I know I
just
said that
if
was
I
gonna be
ever.
my last thing to wrap it all up, but I guess it leads me to one more question. What would it take for you to come back? Like, will we have to sign you like to like a $10,000 contract or something?
If there was real money involved, honestly,
So all
but
right, so it's
probably
a
not.
ten thousand is a ten
But
thousand dollar contract like the negotiating line, like that's the base.
no, nah, nothing really gonna like. It'll just be on my own interest. But I basically said when I left, I was like, yeah, I'm done with the whole Discord thing. I've done my job. I've done my job. Let the people who I essentially inspired build off. I don't really need any of that stuff. I can walk away from knowing that hey, I did all this stuff, so I might as well build off on something different.
Yeah, I heard that,
Yep.
but $10,000 made you stutter a little bit. So I'm gonna take that as a negotiating baseline, and then we'll probably have to go from there.
Yeah,
Like
once
maybe
once
like,
like once like once like people start putting real money on the line as far as like tournaments and wise, like I did before, yes, because that's
all
money,
right, cool.
and that'll give you more of a incentive to play. Or the game gets even more recognition outside of it being sort of an underground thing, then for sure I'll try to participate more in the online aspect of it. But for now, I don't really see it like expanding more in the long run. Your channel is far more popular than mine, so you'll get way more recognition for like doing something like this than I ever did.
I
So
think chaos is more popular than me as well. Let me
yeah,
see.
but your videos are getting like 400 something views every day.
Yeah, like I will say
You
that like
know
I do get a lot of views that I don't be expecting to get. But I think he's about to
exactly,
pass me in subscribers. But my videos get like I don't know what happened. Like they just shot up in views, all of them.
bro. That 28,000 view for your fucking ranked match video was legendary,
Yeah,
dude.
I don't get it. Like I'm gonna check it right now, real quick. I'm gonna check and see how much it was. It's 29,379 right now. I don't get it. Like
It's close.
it's like my worst
It's close
video
to
in my
three.
opinion.
It's close to 30K, and guess what? That gets people to look more and more into your channel, look more and more into the community.
Yeah, it was just
The best fight, the best fight on that channel was me versus you in the losers finals match
yeah. That's like my
for
that's
that
my third
fucking
highest
tournament.
viewed video, 906.
And that's the best, and that's overall the best match I've ever. That's like the best match I've ever played.
Yeah, for real, definitely, 100%. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like why that? And then on that video, I get a lot of crap talk to me about that. A lot of
But guess what?
comments on there. I hate comments because they say how trash I am, and I've had to. I think I pinned it to the bottom that I wasn't really that good. But I mean, it doesn't really hurt my feelings. It just makes me
At the
laugh. It's
time,
mostly Latin American players too. They go and comment something in Spanish, and I translate it. Yeah, it's all right. So it's like I was like, oh, what does it say? And I just like, okay, I wish I never knew what it said. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it's fine, I guess. If they want to hate on it, I mean, I don't know how many times I can say like it's. I already said I'm not that good in the comments, but they were like because I put ranked in it. They like ranked.
you think you're so good? Yes, I'm better than you. You match square all the time.
Well, let's see what this one says
Like
since we talking about it. This one's Spanish translated. I'm gonna translate right now. 6 days ago. Let's see what this one
Oh
says.
shit.
Let's see what it says. Paste. Oh wait, I didn't copy it. Copy. Paste. Come on. Yeah, listen to this. It's a comment 6 days ago in Spanish. A fight between rookies.
Okay.
It's just, I mean, I
Pull up to North America.
You said what?
Come up to North America and I'll show you some skill. Come up to North America.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's see.
Like,
What's next one? Well, okay, I don't even get this one. What does this one even mean? 4 weeks ago, this one says, we already know. I hope the translator is wrong, but it says, we already know who the homosexual here is. Obviously, the one who chose Kid Buu. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
I think I was the one who chose Kid Buu. What are they trying to say? Trash, man.
Also, final thought, bro. I would say, since I left, I will raise up in the pantheon of like the last. I'm just fucking around here, but yeah, as far as the impact, you'll have a lot of players. Like I'll be up there with like Acrylics and Zero and the people from the Tenkaichi 2 community, because without them, I will always acknowledge those people. Like they paved the way for a lot of the way the game is supposed to be played. But I can confidently say that, hey, I sort of helped out or kickstart a lot of like the stuff that's going on right now, because I put in a lot of effort and made a lot of sacrifices in order to keep this game going for like its competitive, especially during the competitive era that we were all playing in.
Yeah, man, you're definitely on the Mount Rushmore, or is it Mount Rushmore? Yeah, Mount Rushmore of like influential people.
Like Supreme Kai, bro. I'm like a Supreme Kai.
Yeah, you're definitely that. Like, oh, I'm thinking off the top of my head, not only Acrylic. I don't think I really messed with Acrylics like that. I don't really know what he did.
He was a different case, but he was extremely good.
Yeah,
extremely good.
I was very to myself a lot of the times. Like someone had to get in contact with me, like for the most part, for me to know. Because I didn't really go out like even like EXE Rob commented on one of my videos one time, and I just replied like he was just an average. I mean, everyone's just an average person at the end of the day, but I didn't know who he was until one day I saw him on one of Page's terms. Like, oh, he's actually a really good player. Like to me, I never went out of my way to know people. I was like, I'm just gonna do me, and whoever comes.
Yeah, but that's really about it.
But yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold you up too long. Now it's become less of an interview, more just us rambling. So yeah, it's been real.
That's the best part.
It's good talking with you. I'm gonna go ahead and start the recording now. I don't even have an intro or an outro. I think I'm just gonna start doing my videos like this, where it fades in